Hey, this is Warren Redlick. Just a quick preview of what's coming up for Tesla delivery numbers and production numbers for Q1 of 2023. I think we're going to see a much bigger number for deliveries than a lot of other people are talking about. Let me just dive into this real quick. This was Q4 of 2022. And you could see as production was 439,000 vehicles, 439,701, and deliveries was 405,000. Now we're seeing predictions in the 420 range, the 430 range, something like that. I think it's going to be much bigger. I think it's going to be over 450,000. Let me show you what the big deal is. These are the numbers for 2022. Tesla over delivered in Q1 of 2022. In the past history of Tesla, there would be some over deliveries and under deliveries. Sometimes deliveries were greater than production, sometimes they were lower. You can imagine as they build up a backlog of undelivered vehicles, there's going to be a quarter where they deliver more than they produce, and that happened in Q1. Q2, Q3, and Q4 were all under deliveries, as opposed to Tesla's past history where there was more alternating back and forth. So the total for Q2 to Q4 of undelivered vehicles, which is vehicles that were not delivered and had not been delivered yet and would then presumably be delivered in the next quarter, there were 60,000 total vehicles. 4,000 plus 22,000 plus 34,000. It works out to about 60,400 vehicles that were undelivered. And then Tesla had like a fire sale on in Q1. At the beginning of Q1, they cut prices and they basically cleared out the inventory. So there's an additional 60,000. So when you look at Q4 of 2022, you see that they produced 440,000 vehicles and they delivered about 34,000 less. Okay, so they under delivered by about 34,000. Now that includes they had some other vehicles there, but if you anticipate that Q1 of 2023 will be basically similar in terms of under deliveries leaving out this big chunk, and I'm guessing we're going to see production in the ballpark of 450,000. You drop 30,000, let's say, from the 450 and you get to 420, but then you add 60,000. So I think we're going to, now there's some lag that's built in there, but potentially we could see a delivery number of like 480,000. I think that's too high, but I think numbers we're seeing of 420, 430 are too low. What happened to these 60,000 vehicles? They got delivered at the beginning of the year. For Tesla to be at 420, they would have to deliver 360,000 of the 450,000 they produce. That seems really unlikely that the inventory is that big. So I'm I'm thinking we're going to see 450,000 or more, maybe 460,000 vehicles delivered. And if that happens, if I'm correct, that is a massive beat on Wall Street estimates and other savvy people estimates. So I'm often over optimistic about Tesla. Let's take a step back and say, hey, Warren, you're often, I need to be less wrong. I might be wrong here. I am wearing the Tesla Nair t-shirt. I was wearing the Be Less Wrong t-shirt the other day. T-shirts at elonbits.com, stainless steel water bottles at elonbits.com. Check them out. But short prediction, I think we're going to see over 450 for deliveries for Q1. Keeping in mind, I tend to be over optimistic. 460s, not crazy. And 480,000 is in reach, but unlikely. And if we see those numbers, if it's a massive beat over Wall Street's estimates, that would indicate, and I don't like doing short-term stock predictions, but that would suggest that when that number gets reported the next day, we're going to see the stock go up. And that one I like. I'm terrible at short-term stock price predictions. I don't even try. But we'll see what those numbers are. If we see 425, 430 deliveries, then there shouldn't be much impact on the stock price. But if I'm right and we see 450, 460, then it'd be a fun ride. Please support me on the Locals platform, warrenredlick.locals.com. Please support me on Patreon or as a YouTube channel member or now as a Twitter subscriber. Please check out my other videos. Check out the merch, the Tesla Air shirt and the other shirts and the stainless steel water bottles at elonbits.com. Like this video, share it with your friends, let other people know, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.